Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing one of the stars of 2017 and a GPHG laureate. This is the Bulgari Octo Finissimo Automatic winding with 5.1mm thick 40mm titanium case. This watch exceeds expectations in every respect. Although Bulgari traditionally is regarded as a jeweler first and a watchmaker second, this is actually designed, built, and finished in the Bulgari manufacture in Le Sentier, Switzerland, so it's a true manufacturer product with an impeccable pedigree. That manufacturer used to be Gerald Genta and Daniel Roth. Now on my wrist you can see this watch is broad but it's flat. My 16cm circumference wrist wears this watch easily. In titanium and ultra slim, it's practically weightless. You could forget it's present. 40mm is the measurement from 9 to 3, not including the double knurled ceramic cabochon crown, and the watch is rated at 5.15mm thick, but my calipers actually read 5.09, so under-promising and over-delivering. Bulgari, you're off to a great start. Lug to lug, the watch is compact. 46mm from lug to lug across the wrist means I could actually recommend this fairly large and broad watch for a wrist as small as 13.5cm circumference. Now there is a semi-proprietary nature to the junction between strap and case. I'm going to take the strap off my wrist and give you a better view of the works, but if you do want to know what the size of the strap is, and I do believe you could fit an accessory aftermarket strap in there, it's 30mm, which is absolutely huge, especially in relation to the size of the case. But a broad strap spacing gives the watch a very contemporary as well as integrated aesthetic on the wrist. Now you can see, let's get a little bit closer here, afford ourselves a bit more light. The watch has a strap to match the case, which is to say high grade but incredibly spare. A large rectangular scale alligator leather gloss finish. Note that the edges have been folded and bonded, so there's no actual stitching. All of this is accomplished with adhesive bonding, and you can see that the strap itself parallels the slim profile and the taper of the lugs. The buckle is a handsome piece. It too is titanium, and you'll appreciate the fact that it is both Bulgari signed and entirely blasted, just as is the form of the case. Now every surface you see here is a blasted finish. There's absolutely no polish here, and there's no conventional satin or directionally grained finish either. Bulgari claims that this case, if you tally all, amounts to over 110 different facets, and frankly, I wouldn't challenge the point. It has a handsome, almost architectural built look, which is to say, there's the base formed by the four lugs, and then everything seems to be layered on top, and richly so, with a number of contrasts between flat planes and angles, as well as curves and straight lines. And you can see nowhere is that more evident than the bezel itself, which has a traditional circular frame and then a geometric interior. So the two, in juxtaposition to each other, emulate the same form and theme of angles and curves that is simply blazoned across the case. Now if you look at the case in profile, you can see that the lugs do thicken it a little bit, so that 5.15mm measurement is from the top of the bezel to the foot of the lug. In reality, the watch is far thinner than that even. So in titanium, the watch is effectively weightless. You can forget it's on the wrist, and that's because it has a dial to match. The dial is also blasted titanium, and you can see that it has striking black on gray indices as well as numerals, off-center, minimalist, crosshair sub-seconds, and you can see skeletonized, of course, Dauphine-style hands at center. It's an easy watch to read, and the timepiece with a minimal amount of dial text should serve as a lesson to next-generation Rolex models. Bulgari, Swiss-made, leave it at that. Now, turn it all over, and things get exciting. This is the manufacture movement that I promised you earlier in the video. Let's get it in focus and appreciate its details. Okay, BVL 138, related to the BVL 128 manual wind ultra thin, 2.23mm thick. It has a platinum micro rotor that allows the rotor to be placed, and you can see this from an angle, in the same plane as the rest of the bridges, so it doesn't actually thicken the watch. You get the convenience of an automatic, a 55-hour power reserve, efficient winding thanks to the platinum mass, but you also get the open display case back that is characteristic of a manual wind timepiece and the slimness of a manual wind timepiece. Full balance bridge, in this case it helps to both brace the balance with better security than a half bridge, but it also serves to strengthen and add rigidity to the movement itself. So thin is this machine. The 55-hour power reserve metered out at a 21,600 vibration per hour rate. I'm going to do my best to get closer again, just keep this in focus because it is difficult. The closer I get, the more my camera revolts. Now you can see that it is entirely hand finished. This is a nicely executed movement, and it actually belies its price point. If you look at the edge of the bridges, you can see them lighting up. That is true rounded mirrored chamfer or anglage. All of the screw heads, as you can see as I turn the watch flush to the camera, feature black polished heads. There's an even and tight micro perlage about the base plate, and you can see that just below the winding mass. The Côte de Genève are thick, ridged, and clearly laid down with an abrasive wheel rather than simply stamped. You can see they're darker on one side, lighter on the opposite, and that's indicative of a true abrasive wheel Côte de Genève. All of this being 30 meters water resistant, which frankly is more than I expected for something this thin. This is part of a new generation of Bulgari men's mechanical watches, and frankly, I'm amazed and I'm a fan. See it, live the dream on the Watchbox.